From courtside to Capitol Hill, crossing boundaries and borders, if it's trending, I'm talking about it. This is The Emily Austin Show. Welcome back to The Emily Austin Show. We've got a packed lineup tonight. In the scroll, we're talking about Kevin Durant passing LeBron James in career earnings, breaking news about the NBA gambling scandal that's rocking the league, the $69 million NFT that's now worthless, and Democrats, shocker, losing their minds over Trump building a ballroom. Then, in the story of the day, we'll break down the Bad Bunny halftime controversy, and I'll be joined by professional MMA fighter and world champion Leah McCourt, who says she would not let her daughter anywhere near one of his concerts. After that, we're playing our usual game time, The Odds Are In, and wrapping up with Here's What You Should Care About. And if the background looks different, well, that's because we're recording live from Israel this week. I'm here to film Eretz Nehederet, which is basically Israel's version of Saturday Night Live. In between shooting, I'll be seeing my family, shaking hands, kissing babies, and probably gaining 10 pounds eating kosher McDonald's and Shake Shack. Don't judge me. And let me tell you a little secret. Those milkshakes are the best milkshakes of all time. But enough of that. Let's scroll. First up on the scroll, Kevin Durant officially surpassed LeBron James in career earnings. And honestly, good for him. Between salary endorsements, side ventures, the man's pockets are deeper than the Western Conference standings. But with that being said, it's not a knock to LeBron James, because his legacy on the court and off the court is a cultural force and a franchise anchor. He just remains in a different sphere. Also, LeBron's earnings were made in an era where salaries were way lower, and choices which were sometimes taking less money to build a squad. We all know Miami's big three, investing in businesses, etc., just reflected a broader, longer-term game strategy. Either way, they're both winning, just in different ways. Next up, according to ESPN, Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat's Terry Rozier have been arrested as part of a pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia. Both of them, needless to say, are on leave from their teams. Now, they were amongst 34 people that were arrested. The arrests were a result of years-long investigations covering 11 different states and involving tens of millions of dollars. Kash Patel and other law enforcement officials say that the multiple charges involve 4 mafia family and organized crime networks. This is a mind-boggling amount of fraud. It reminds me of, in 2023, Terry Rozier removed himself from a game mid-game, and miraculously, all of his friends bet on his unders. Anyway, that's not my problem, that's Kash Patel's, and more information is to come soon. Next up, do you remember that NFT artwork that sold way back when for, I don't know, $69 million in 2021? Yeah, well, now it's worth about $10,000. 10K. That might be the most expensive JPEG regret in human history. But I actually am very passionate about this subject because, to me, it comes down to survival of the fittest. Remember when everybody was buying Bored Apes and made it their profile picture, and they were spending tens of thousands of dollars for a profile picture on what was then Twitter, today X, for bragging rights? If you're willing to spend that much money on a profile picture, honestly, I'm just questioning your judgment at this point. But there was something really funny that happened last week that I need to share. A friend of mine started, no shade, I love the idea of it, I think it's silly, but a digital auctioning platform for digital art. And this friend forced me to join the auction. I was like, there's no way anyone is gonna buy digital art, because just buy the physical art and put it on your wall like this beautiful piece behind me. But no, there was a man that spent $180,000 for this. So what did I do? I screenshotted it. And now I own it too. Except I screenshotted it for free. And this man had to spend $180,000 for this. Enough said. And last but not least, the internet is once again melting down because Trump is reportedly building a ballroom. Yes, a ballroom. And apparently now that's considered fascism by MSNBC. For context, let's go down memory lane. President Taft made the Executive Oval Office. FDR added an entire East Wing and an indoor pool all for himself. President Truman gutted the entire White House and rebuilt it. Nixon added a bowling alley. Obama added a basketball court, and Biden made plenty of tweaks. But Trump wants to add a ballroom, and suddenly it's the fall of democracy. At least if you're on X, that's what it looks like. And they're even trying to make it seem like tax-paying money is funding it. But it's not. The construction is privately funded by Trump himself and donations. So once again, it's a clear-cut case of Trump derangement syndrome, Exhibit 487. And to find the cure for Trump derangement syndrome, make sure you buy your TDS pin today. Find the cure one step closer with Trump derangement syndrome pin. All right, that's your scroll for today. Now let's talk about what's really going on in the world, because apparently we've reached the point of total national meltdown over Bad Bunny. Yes, a lot of Republicans are losing their minds because Bad Bunny is performing the Super Bowl halftime show. And their argument is, well, he doesn't sing in English. That's the apparent outrage. We're talking about inflation, there's chaos at the border, wars that Trump is now trying to solve, but people are really angry about a guy singing in Spanish at a football game. It's gotten so intense that Turning Point is planning their own halftime show so people have a plan B. Out of all the things we could be divided over, this is what we choose. This was not on my 2025 bingo card. A civil war over Bad Bunny. Let me be very clear. I love Bad Bunny's music. I actually met him once at Gecko in Miami. Total legend. I mean, he dressed iconic, acts iconic, very, very polite and respectful. And last year, he was my #1 artist on Spotify Wrapped. So I'm just gonna say it. If loving Bad Bunny makes me un-American, I'll see y'all in the gulag. But not everyone agrees. Joining me now is someone who is not the biggest fan of Bad Bunny, Leah McCourt, professional MMA fighter, former #1 contender at featherweight, black belt in judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and world champion in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Let's just say you don't want to mess with her. Leah's also a mom to a teenage daughter, and she tells me she would never allow her daughter to attend his concert.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's so good to have you. Although I could tell you right now, we're going to get into it a little bit. When I was planning this episode, I said, you know what? I want someone who feels really strongly about this Bad Bunny halftime show. And you replied to me with, I will never let my daughter ever listen to his music or attend his concert. So please share with us why you feel so strongly about not letting your 15-year-old daughter listen to Bad Bunny.
Okay, so I obviously am older, probably older than you, and my daughter is 15, and she recently got straight A's. We live in Ireland, but I work in America a lot, so I'm always back and forward, and she loves America. And she got straight A's in her exams, and at the weekend is her favorite concert ever. So I
Favorite
surprised
concert or
her,
favorite singer?
singer. So
Okay.
I obviously am too old. I don't know who that is, but
She has great taste.
with I surprised her with tickets to see The Weekend in Nashville. Oh, and only I bought them in Nashville because I wanted to go to Nashville, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I took her to the concert, but beforehand, my mum was saying to me, I'm a Christian and so is Isabella, but I was watching I don't have TikTok really. My mum sent me videos like it looks like a satanic worship. And I was like, oh, my mom's such a conspiracy theorist. I was like, okay, whatever, mum, ignoring her. And whenever we went there, so it's not even so much his music, it's the performance, it's what is happening at the arena. There was like, I didn't believe in the Illuminati until I went to the Weekend concert. There was like
Wow.
the imaging in the background that was playing, the gold statue and 10 hooded figures worshipping a statue. It was the most bizarre.
Yikes.
And I'm a professional MMA fighter. I train with 40 men every day. I listen to every music under the sun. But whenever I was at that concert, there was a demonic presence. There was something not right. And I have
Wow.
never felt that before. Um, the whole way through the concert, it was like everybody was in a trance, and I was just sitting there like, this music is so bad. Why
What
is
was the
everybody?
age demographic?
So it was like Isabella's age, and they were mostly younger. Like it was mostly
Wow.
15 to 20, and it was so like I urge people to go and look up that performance and that whole string of shows
Do you have
online. It
pictures
was
and videos you could share with us?
There's one, yeah, I can send you some. And honestly, it was the most bizarre experience I've ever been to. And I have been around the world and I have seen strange things. And this new generation of music is just so, I don't know. It's like I obviously believe the devil gets a foothold and tries to get into, separating your families and pushing apart
Yeah.
families. And this, when he can't do it any other way, like there's other ways he's going to try and do it, and through music, because we're so naive to that. I feel like that's the
Mm.
way that is getting through to children.
So that's really not the answer I was expecting. I was approaching this more. I was informed that people are mad over it's not patriotic because he doesn't sing in
So,
English. But you just brought
so
up another good point.
yeah, I've got two aspects. So obviously, Bad Bunny, we love in the UK, Ireland, we love the halftime show. Nobody here watches NFL. Nobody plays it. We tune in for the halftime show, and I don't know if you know how big country music is in the UK, Ireland, and in Europe. Like Chris Stapleton came over here and sold out arenas, Morgan Wallen. It's like,
Hmm.
why are you not? It's an American sport. Nowhere else plays NFL. Like they're trying to bring it into England. They're trying to expand the demographic in Europe and the UK. So why not put on somebody like Chris Stapleton, Morgan Wallen, people that love America? Bad Bunny refused to even play in America last year. It's like, why would you put on somebody like that when you've got such amazing American performers that relate to to outside of America?
Okay. We're going to address this topic, but I want to go back to your first point.
Okay.
If that's the case, right, and you're saying that it's more of the Satan, demonic, not age appropriate, would you say is your biggest critique?
Yeah.
Okay. What about all the prior halftime shows where who was it, Matt? Was it Shakira, J-Lo, both of them? It was Shakira and J-Lo that were basically dry humping the air, and we were all watching that. We all saw
Yeah.
that. At the same time, do you feel like the NFL needs to cater to young kids when, let's be real, 15-year-old girls are not usually the demographic watching the Super Bowl?
Yeah, on a morality place, obviously, if there's children watching and that is the kind of performance, I think that's different to my point about the like ritualistic experience that I felt that was at the weekend. What is your demographic? Is it men? Is it young kids? Is it everybody? It needs to be a performer that all families can tune in. But like music is normalized now, like the language, the performances, it's all normalized in our generation. And this is why I'm like, bring it back to country music, bring it back to Carrie Underwood, bring it back to true American voices that our kids over here still love as well.
Has Bad Bunny ever taken part in any of these satanic rituals?
I don't even know one song. All I've seen Bad Bunny do is put on dresses and put on skirts, and his music sounds like the music they play in Nando's in the background, like the Spanish music.
Okay, serious question now. This goes more for you and the viewers as a whole. Do you feel it's possible to separate one's music from one's politics? I can give you so many examples of this. Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. Do I have 16 Taylor Swift songs on my Spotify playlist? Absolutely. Lady Gaga, my opinion, greatest artist of all time, greatest performer of all time. Is she a weirdo? Absolutely. Do I love her music? Yes. Is she a Democrat? Unfortunately. But I know how to differentiate the fact that I don't like her politics, her music slaps. Do you feel like more people should do that, or do you double down?
No, I totally agree. Like I went to Taylor Swift with Isabella. I brought Isabella to Taylor Swift and I've had one of the best nights ever, and I can't stand her outside of music. But I think because Bad Bunny made such a big stance about not playing in America, and he said that he made statements like ICE were going to be outside every single one of his concerts. Like, that's an insult to his audience as well. Like, does he think everybody in his audience are illegal immigrants? I feel like because he's made such a strange
Yeah.
stance about performing in America, it's a little bit different. And again, because I'm not saying people can't listen to him, but
Let me
performing
see
at the
that. Hang on.
NFL, the
Lately, I've
half,
been using this iPad because I think it makes me look smart if I use an iPad instead of a
you need a
phone.
fact checker.
Yeah, yeah, no, because honestly, you're starting to shift my opinion, and that's not supposed to happen here. I'm supposed to come in strong. But if that's the case, the man who refuses to perform in America is doing the halftime show. Slightly concerning. Bad Bunny refuses to perform USA. USA. I wouldn't have Wi-Fi on this. Haha. Joke's on me. Wow. Okay. My
But he
follow-up
did
question is then why would he do the halftime show?
exactly. Why would
Did
he? I
Bad
feel like he's going to use it as some
Bunny?
kind of protest. He's going to do something anti-Trump. He's going to cause some kind
Mm,
of chaos there. Like he 100% is going to.
girl, I think I might just walk back on my stance. Bad Bunny stated, all right, let me read this to the crowd. Yes, Bad Bunny stated that he refused to play in the United States for his recent tour due to concerns about ICE raids targeting his Latino fans. Wow,
Is that
I just
not an
learned something
insult to
new.
to Latino
That is
fans? I don't
that's a
understand that.
big insult.
I've got loads of Spanish friends in America. I've got friends from all kinds of religions, denominations, but that is such a bizarre thing to say, and it's an insult to his own audience.
You know what? You're right. I think that sends the message that you assume all of your fans are illegal immigrants. Let's start
Or
a coalition.
criminals.
Ready? I'm on a roll this week. Let's do legal immigrants for Bad Bunny. If you are a legal immigrant and you like Bad Bunny, we want to hear from
Okay.
you. That's ridiculous, honestly. I here's the thing. Initially, I approached this with let's not conflate politics and music because I believe, despite language, despite politics, music and sports are things that unify. But if you're telling me the NFL thought it was a good idea to do the United States halftime show with a man who essentially is refusing to perform here, I just feel like that's spitting on America, to be honest. And will I still listen to Bad Bunny? Yes. But do I think that that was a really dumb move by the NFL? Who decides who gets to perform?
I
Is this
know
like a coalition?
it's like a strange. I'm like in my head. I'm like, are they doing it to cause like the backlash that they've received to get more attention on it? Are they doing it to get to cause some?
Mm.
I can only see some kind of outbreak at the NFL show at the final game if that's going to happen. If there's so much protest about it, and especially how conflicted both sides are.
You know what? Why don't we let's create a market, okay? Like let's create a betting market. Will Bad Bunny make a political statement at the
He,
halftime show?
I will bet my house on it. He will 100% make a
You'll bet
political
your
statement.
house, you said?
Yeah, on my tennis courts.
And your tennis? Okay, I'm in for this bet.
It's
What should I
yours if
bet?
if it doesn't.
All right, how about this? If Bad Bunny makes a political statement, you're flying me to Ireland. If he does
Okay.
not, I'm flying you to New York. Deal?
Yes. Deal.
Okay, we just made a bet here.
And
Polymarket,
I
if you're
hate, you know
watching
what?
this,
You
I
know I hate New
suggest you
York.
create the market.
You know I hate New York, but I'll come for you.
You hate New York. Well, if I'm Donnie wins, then I kind of get where
Oh
you're coming from.
gosh.
Okay, before we go and talk about your personal and professional life, I want you to do me a solid. I want you to listen to these three Bad Bunny songs, despite the fact that he arguably might hate the United States right now. I want you to listen to these three songs. Ready? Trust,
Hmm.
trust. And then I want you to let us know how you felt about it. Um, Efecto, Efecto. It's a really
Yeah.
good one. Let me search through my music. I have
Can you
so many
speak
Bad Bunny songs.
Spanish?
I don't. Let me make it clear. I don't speak. Okay, I understand the good amount. We learn it in, the public school system in America. You speak Spanish in class, but post graduation, I have never really used it much, so I kind of lost it. Like, do I understand every lyric in his songs? No. Do I have a dance party every time it comes on? Absolutely. But I don't
Okay.
really understand it word for word. I have like translated it though. Okay. Oh, there's so many good ones. Oh, I don't know where to start. Okay, let's do Moscow Mule is one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. Hands down. Titi Me Pregunto is an amazing song. I'm gonna send this to you after.
You need to
And
send that to me.
actually, I have a fun story for the audience, and I'll attach the clip here. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I was interviewing Djokovic, and I wanted to prank him. So I was like, let me tell him I have a weird name. Like, I don't know, I'll tell him my name's Titi because I just listened to Titi Me Pregunto, his song. And his manager was like, how did you know that's Djokovic's favorite song? And I was like, I didn't. It's one of my favorite songs. So, fun fact, Djokovic's favorite song is Titi Me Pregunto by Bad Bunny. So,
No
Djokovic, who
way.
I perceive to, yeah, I think he's a conservative. He also
So
likes
do
Bad
I.
Bunny. Well, maybe let's
I
ask
love
him.
Djokovic.
So we got Titi Me Pregunto, Moscow Mule, Effecto, and let's do like another banger. How many of
I'm going training
La
after this, so
Santa.
I'll listen to them when I'm training. Okay.
Yeah, these are also good workout songs. A lot of the ones I didn't mention are more workout songs. These are more like he puts you on a beach in Puerto Rico, which I think is his vibe. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
that's what he's trying to get at with his music.
Yeah, that's why I still don't get why it's the NFL halftime show, like a beach in Puerto Rico, and then like they're big manly men and they love country music.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying the crowd will like it. I just happen to love his music, and I don't like the MAGA narrative that's happening right now that we don't want him because he's not singing in English. I like your argument way better, where it's we don't like this because he doesn't hold American values, slash, he's going to make this a political statement. That argument's a lot better than he doesn't speak English. And then it makes everybody look very anti-immigrant, which we're not. We're
Yeah.
anti-illegal immigration. So if people could maybe work on the messaging more towards yours, like, hey, no, we just don't want political statements because sports is about unity. That's where the messaging needs to be, but it's not. It's very, very divisive.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to talk about you now because I find you very fascinating. Those
You
who
talk
watch
about
this
yourself.
probably know or don't know, I work full time for the Zone, mainly in boxing, and you're an MMA fighter, so I love the combat world. But I find it more interesting because you're a woman. I mean, when people think of fighting and combat sports and MMA, it usually comes with this reputation of being more masculine, but you're beautiful. You tap into your femininity. You're a mother. How do you kind of balance that?
I don't. My life is crazy, and it's like I'm like a hot mess. I've been so I had my daughter when I was really young. I was 18, and but as a child, my dad had three daughters, and I'm from Northern Ireland. I don't know, people will know about the history here, about the conflict, and he wanted us to know how to look after ourselves and be able to protect ourselves. So I grew
Mhm.
up doing judo, which was like the grappling side of MMA, and I also played chess. I was the Irish chess champion. Um,
Nice.
I I rode horses and did ballet, so I like did everything. It was so random, but I have always loved martial arts. I loved watching the Olympics, and because MMA has like all the different aspects, it's not just boxing or wrestling or
Right.
grappling. You could train in all the different martial arts. That's why I loved it, and I'm extremely competitive. Like when I'm competing, I like live, eat, breathe, sleep competition and winning. And it's not because I love winning, I just hate losing. So it's like the ultimate sport for competitors, and I really just loved it. But it has definitely been difficult. A lot of people don't like women, obviously, in male dominated spaces. Men become extremely bitter, jealous. They can make
Yeah.
up lies just to fame you. Like, and I've had to have such thick skin about so much. And whenever you're getting like targeted online, it's always men. It's never like women trying to bring you down if like after a fight,
Oh.
or it's always men. And my coaches are like, you, like my other teammate, she's like was in the UFC, and she was like, nobody gets it like you and her. Like, you get it the worst. And it's like regardless if we win or lose. So we've definitely had to have a thick skin being a female and in like a real male dominated sport. And I was the first female to headline the Three Arena in Dublin, like combat
Nice.
sport
I've
before
worked
Katie
there.
Taylor. Yeah, and I headlined Wembley Arena last October,
Wow.
and the next day, 6 hours later, flew to Harvard for a they chose like 50 athletes to do a business course. So I fought in Wembley and was on a plane 8 hours later, like concussed, didn't know what was going on
Oh
to Harvard.
God.
So my life has just been crazy. It's been just, and because I had Isabella so young, I just needed like a focus and wanted to feel like I could achieve stuff, even though I was like a young mum.
That's so sweet. I love that for you. It's so funny you say that because maybe in the ring, on the field, on the court, women are being torn down by men. But I could tell you on the broadcasting side, which I know you've got a taste of that too, it's always the women tearing me apart. And it clearly comes from a sense of like competitiveness or maybe jealousy. But
Jealousy.
I've always found that women are the first ones to criticize me and tear me down. And I'm like, aren't we supposed to uplift each other? When I was really young and I was getting into sports, I was about 18. I for certain thought I'd find the mentor and she would be a wonderful woman and she would show me the ropes. And boy, was I wrong about that. I
Wow.
never found one female in the same space that was willing to
Wow.
guide me the right way. In fact, they always tried to throw roadblocks in my way, and it was very disappointing.
Yeah. That is like that mentality of not celeb like putting someone else on or celebrating them or helping them. I like you must be like me. I just don't have that mentality. I am so happy for anybody that is achieving anything. Like I seen you before we even spoke and I was like, she's so cool. Like look at her doing this, this, and this. And I think it's like it's such a cheesy saying, but like you never somebody doing better than you will never everybody that's saying
Tear you
bad
down.
things or making up lies or making up or abusing you online, what happy, successful person is doing that? And nobody. It'll be people that
True.
are sitting in the internet, miserable, happy, or unhappy, jealous, and bitter. And that's why I just ignore. I don't even read comments. I'm like, whatever. Like, it's just so
Really, I
sad.
enjoy reading them. It's sad,
Oh
but like it's
no.
funny to me.
No, because then I can't because I'm like so cool, calm, collected, and then if I something like if I'll lose my temper and like get cancelled for life.
Yeah, and you can't fight them.
Yeah, I know. I wish.
I have one last question, and it's personal, but like, men, you can close your ears for this one. Being a woman in sports, right? You're getting in the ring. What do you do if you get like period cramps? That's something men never have to deal with. So I'm curious how you go about that because that could be pretty brutal.
Not even getting in the ring and training every single month,
Mm,
and you have to turn up and you're getting shouted at just the same. Like it is so horrendous, and even with regards to obviously your period, but obviously cutting weight as well. Women don't lose weight. So whenever we're cutting weight, we have to get our weight down to a really low level. Men can cut nearly twice as much weight in the same time a woman can. So if I was
hmm
in the sauna for an hour, I could maybe lose a kilo, whereas a guy could maybe lose 3 kilos. So
hmm
there's so many more barriers to succeed in female MMA than there is in male with regards to your cycle or cutting weight, like all these things and just make it so much harder. And I've had like horrific weight cuts or fight weeks because of those reasons, and you just have to get on with it.
Yeah, that must be brutal. You never really know because you have to put a poker face on.
Yeah, exactly. And regardless, like I fought with like a torn rotator cuff. I fought one time I had COVID. I was so sick. I didn't know until the next day.
Wow.
I was throwing up. I couldn't breathe in the cage. I fought in Bellator 300 in San Diego, and I was in urgent care that week. I had to cancel all my media. I got laryngitis on the plane. I had lost my
Oof.
voice. I was meant to have like a full week of media. It was like the biggest card Bellator I'd ever done. I was like literally sitting with a mask on, like, how am I going to fight? I can't breathe. Like, there's just so much goes on behind the fight nights that people don't see. That's so crazy.
I can't even imagine. I see what's happening on my side of the screen, but I never
Yeah.
really know what's happening in the ring. But nonetheless, you are such a badass on the in the ring, outside of the ring. Isabella is so lucky to have such a cool mother like yourself. I think she'll hopefully become as fierce and strong as you one day. Thank you so much for joining.
Oh, thanks for having me. You're
Of
just as
course.
cool.
It's game time.
Women. C5. Oh. Wing time. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Today we're playing real or fake DMs, and they're my DMs. So I'm going to read you a few DMs that people supposedly sent me. Some are real and some AI completely made up. After each one, I'll let you know if it was real or fake. At Keyboard Warrior says, Emily Austin for NYC mayor. Tick tock, tick tock. It was real. Thanks, guys. I agree. I'd be the best candidate in this race, but unfortunately I'm 24 and we're not there yet. But stay tuned, you don't know. At Truth Hurts 99 said, you're nothing but noise. Try being smart for once. That's fake, obviously. Everybody knows I'm smart. No, I'm joking. At Anon Critic says, you care more about dogs than humans. It's real, and it's 100% true. I definitely care more about dogs than humans. At Not a Fan 23, I guess you can assume this one here, you're embarrassing yourself. Stop pretending you know sports, stick to lipstick. Okay, so that one was fake, but honestly, I've definitely gotten that DM before. So let's just say that that one is a neutral answer. At Rat City Reject said, you racist hoe. That one is real. At Real News Now said, you should be banned from every stadium. Your takes are garbage. That's fake. And even if it was real, I'm not going anywhere. Catch me in every arena, in every country too. I mean, not like Afghanistan or Libya or Syria, but you get the point I'm making. Let me know in the comments how many you guys got correct, but let's be honest with ourselves, even the fake ones are really not far from what actually hits my inbox. But if you did get all of them correct, then you are officially fluent in Emily DMs, and you win this imaginary award. The odds are in, and let's see what the internet is betting on. Obviously, I'm sick of talking about this, but Polymarket has Sliwa dropping out at 7%. I remember checking last week, and it was maybe 13%, 17%, but the odds were way higher. Now this week, I'm sure you've all seen, the election got a lot of heat, as did I. I started, unofficially, Hot Girls for Cuomo, and Curtis Sliwa himself came for my throw on X this week. Now, here's what I told him on X, and here's what I'll repeat again. You dropping out is not personal. It's not because you're a bad guy. It's not because we disagree with your politics. In fact, you're probably the most qualified man there. But let's be honest with ourselves. New York is not ready to flip red, and by you staying in the election, all you are doing is reensuring that Mamdani wins this election. Because if you drop out, Cuomo has a way to succeed here. Now, having a Democrat, as Donald Trump said, is better than having a socialist in office. But Sliwa is making this about himself. He's making it seem like we are all disregarding all of the hard work he's put into the city, and nobody is doing that. He had a literal meltdown on Sid Rosenberg's WABC show, and it was not personal. In fact, Sid is a good friend to his. He's attacking everyone on X. In fact, he's helping us because he's showing he has very, very bad temper problems and making personal attacks to people. Sliwa, if you happen to watch this, which I know you will because you're coming for me on X, please understand, you need to be altruistic right now. This election is not about you. This is about saving New York City. And every single day that you don't drop out, you are giving Mamdani more momentum to bring the city to destruction. So please, for the love of God and for the love of New York City, drop out. We will all thank you for that, and nobody will consider you a loser in this, okay? Because the only people who are going to lose this election are the residents of New York and the residents of New York City if you don't help us with this. So please, just consider it. Next up, will Trump pardon Diddy by tonight? Yes, this is a real market that people are betting on. Right now, it's sitting at 1%, and honestly, only in 2025 could a sentence like this exist. My take on it, I don't think he's getting pardoned by tonight. I don't think he's getting pardoned at all by President Trump. I don't think he could care less what happens to him. But at this point, nothing will shock me. Low odds, but I'm curious to see what happens. Before we wrap, here's what you should really care about. There's a company called Marshall Bioresources, also known as Marshall Farms. And according to many public reports and animal rights groups, they are breeding thousands of beagles to purchase for laboratories around the world, where these dogs are used in experiments and tests. Beagles and other hounds are their breeds of choice because even when they're being abused, they don't bite back. There was even a Marshall representative that was quoted saying on the record, "We will breed anything a lab wants. If they want a dog with 3 legs or an abnormally large heart, we can do it." And here's the part that makes me the most sick. Marshall also owns Marshall Pet Products, which sells toys and treats in major pet stores. So make it make sense to me. The same company selling you dog food for your beloved pet are selling dogs for testing. Now, despite hearing from PETA about this cruelty, Petco, Chewy, and That Pet Place continue to partner with Marshall for products because to them, their profits beat their principal. But every single time you shop, you're casting a vote. Check your brands, read your labels, and do not feed into the cruelty just because it's convenient for you. If looking at these pictures made you absolutely sick, then do something about it, because we have a choice to end this or to stay silent. And silence is complacence. So don't be complacent when it comes to abusing innocent animals. From NBA headlines to animal cruelty, it all comes down to what we choose to ignore. Do not scroll past stories just because they make you uncomfortable. You can find it all here on The Emily Austin Show. Like, comment, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments because I do read them. Thank you for tuning in. This was The Emily Austin Show. See you next time.